You know what that sound is? That's the sound of me opening a beer because, as you know, coronavirus has pretty much messed up all our plans, especially with UFC and MMA. I researched a lot of tape in the past, and I thought, I'm going to make my own channel. So here we go. Here's the first video of my MMA channel, and it's going in. We're talking about here FEN 28. And this is a Polish organization, okay? So the majority, I think almost all of the fighters going to be from Poland. And this is what we're doing, man. Hey, desperate times go through desperate measures, right? Here we are in beautiful Japan. Weather's starting to pick up. The sakura, the cherry blossoms, right, are starting to bloom. But, some fools are going to the parks and having their hanami, as we say in Japanese, right? Their flower viewing party. And it's kind of ridiculous. Like, come on, guys. Everyone's like, yeah, whatever. We all gargle and wash our hands. We wear masks here in Japan. We're good. It's like, all right, well, we're a hell of a lot better than Italy or the situation in America. Everyone's going crazy doing the coronavirus challenge. What? I told my wife, I told her about it, and it blew her mind. She's like, no. I told her, coronavirus challenge is going on. She's like, what's that? I said, well, it's where people on TikTok, they freaking lick doorknobs and shit. And she's like, what? And she starts laughing. I was like, yeah. Welcome to America. But anyway, nah, man. Anyway, safe out there, guys. No more rambling, okay? Let's get into these picks, okay? Desperate times calls for desperate measures, all right? I'm here drinking some nice tiny beers. I have to upload that. I like it. In Japan, we have some crazy. What is this? Like 300? Not even, dude. It's like 135 milliliters. Okay, milliliters. Bleh, excuse me. Tiny thing, tiny. It's like a shot glass of a beer. But anyway, enough of that. So I got some pretty solid picks. I went on YouTube. I've been researching past fights, and the fight there's two fights I want to talk about. I've got some solid picks on this. Okay, at least I feel okay. This is if you ask me, you put a gun to my head, say, hey, who's gonna win? I for sure have a pick. Okay, now let's talk about a little bit. There's one Marcin Narcisjek. Okay, so these are all Polish names. Hey, I got a lot of Polish blood in me myself, but I cannot pronounce these names. Okay. Marcin Narcisjek, it's like Naruszczka versus Piotr Warzyniak. Okay, I think that's how you pronounce it. I've never heard. It's and his last name is Awrzyniak. Okay, enough of that bull. So let's get into it. So this guy Marcin over here, now at the betting odds, he's 1.58. Okay, meaning he's a betting favorite, obviously. So and for those of you I know in America, he likes to go with the 100. Thing, right? $100 this, he's minus 100, plus 100. But look, I mean, I don't know. For me, okay, gambling, especially on MMA, MMA is the only sport I love, okay? I like sports in general, but not really. You're not going to get me shelling out a bunch of money for pay-per-views and stuff unless it's MMA. That's the only sport I really love, okay? That's the only sport I would ever care to bet on. The only sport you're going to see me jumping off my couch and screaming and stuff, or pounding my fist in the ground and saying, no, this is the most primal. This is the purest form of sport. It's like a chess match. You don't know what's going to happen. This is the shit we live for, right? When you play fighting games, when you're a little kid playing with the action figures. I don't know about you, but when I was playing with Ninja Turtle action figures, I wasn't freaking having Leonardo throw footballs or like kick a soccer into a goal. No, I was having him fight some all right? Fight people, okay? Fighting, it's in our blood, right? So anyway, let's get back into it. God, I need to go into the picks. So this guy Marcin, so I researched him quite a bit. I've researched these fights. Like I said, I've watched several of their fights. And I'm going to be honest with you, a lot of these Polish, these European organizations, not all of them, but you're going to have some kind of iffy talent, okay? You're going to see some glaring holes in their game, at least if you're a diehard fan, or at least if you're someone that's watched quite a few MMA fights. This guy Marcin. So let's talk about some negatives of this guy. This guy right here, he's 36 years old. Okay, now he's a favorite. I'm going to put this again. He's a favorite. He's 6 foot tall, which is 183 centimeters, about my height, right? He's 183 centimeters, about, so he's 6 feet. He's 36 years old. Okay, he's got 19 wins, 9 losses, 2 draws. Okay, so quite a bit of experience. And he's typically fighting around 183 pounds, 83 kilograms. Typically fighting in the middleweight division, or really that's all I've seen, right? That's what he's listed as his official weight. If you look at SureDog, that's what he's listed as well. So one thing I noticed, and this is in the past fights, I've seen low output of strikes. Okay, I watched his fights and I thought, I'm going to be quite frank with you, I was kind of wondering why he was such a heavy favorite. He seems he seems really reluctant in getting hit. And now, obviously, you don't want to get hit, but there's some people where you'll notice they just don't like to get hit, and that sounds funny, right? No one wants to get hit, but a lot of seasoned MMA fighters, or these people that have good stand up, they're used to getting a bloody nose. They're used to getting bruises cut up. They're used to getting jabbed in the face. They're not so tentant. And this guy, it's funny because he seems in all his fights, he has a low up, but he's waiting for the guy. And he doesn't want to get hit. If you look at him, he doesn't want to kind of land a counter. Like when you see the guy attack him, he doesn't like pressure. When the guy pressures him, he'll kind of move back. And he doesn't have the greatest of defense. His arms, he have his hands up, okay? So it looks like he looks tentative. He has his hands up like he wants to fight. Have your hands in your face, but it's not a very strong guard. It's not how can I say? It's not the most solid of defense. He's not gonna really turtle up. How we have that peekaboo style in boxing. No, he kind of just moves his head back to get out of the way. And like I said, unless you're style bender, if you're the guy where you're moving back and you're landing an awkward punch to side, like how he knocked out how style bender Adesanya got the middleweight title. He took it from Rob Whittaker. You're not going to be able to do that. Instead, he's backing up. Then he looks to tie up. So he wants to kind of tie up. And I'm wondering, okay, so when I was watching his fights, I thought, is he more of a ground guy? He kind of wants to tie up with you. He kind of wants to get around. Basically, he wants to stop your offense. He doesn't like to get hit. But he has that poor defense. So he doesn't have a really good way to tie you up. He should at least fake or land a jab to tie you up. But this poor defense really kind of gets in the way of that. And I think I will say though, so he kind of, and this will keep going the full round, and then eventually he's going to get clipped. Okay, so he does get dropped, he does get clipped, and then one thing I noticed that he does go into berserker mode though, as I say it, berserker mode. If any of you fans out there with the X-Men, right? Remember that stuff? Remember that old arcade game that it's awesome stuff, man. Back in the day, the X-Men beat 'em up game, and you just have that berserker mode, and where Wolverine goes like, yeah, just kind of slashes his claws around. It's like just super. Anyway, it's like berserker mode. Okay, he will start. That's when finally when he starts getting dropped and lit up a little bit, he'll start to throw wild. Okay, but you have to kind of get him to that point. But by this point, he's already taking shots, right? He's already probably maybe feeling a bit. He's getting a bit rocked, and then the thing is, eventually, okay, he'll go in that berserker mode, kind of trade back and forth, and he'll kind of sloppily, he'll get you down, okay, maybe right. If the guy has really bad takedown defense, he'll get you down. He'll just kind of look to go berserker mode, kind of lunge himself at you and take your back, right? And then he'll land some ground and pound if he weathers the storm. Okay, here's the if. So if you're a guy that's like really good at striking, if you just don't have a good ground game, he'll he can just kind of weather it out with toughness. So he's tough, he's a veteran, he's durable, right? But like I said, I think I'm not sure, but it just seems like I'm kind of surprised at someone that's been in so many wars. Maybe at this point in his career, he just doesn't want to get hit too much, and he'll just kind of like go berserker mode. Just hope he'll hope he can just kind of take you down and run ground and pound. So he's durable. So if you are not a durable fighter, he'll just win it in basically in experience and durability. Okay. Not liking the stand up so much though. And like I said, if you're going to tire yourself out, maybe you'll get tired by smacking him around, by landing your offense, and eventually he'll take you down. Well, he does have some at least rudimentary ground game, but he's no Damian Maia, right, from what I've seen. And so that's why I say, if you're not a very durable fighter, or if you have no ground game, or if you have bad cardio, these are things. If you have those really huge holes in your game, he could win just by weathering the storm, okay? Now, his opponent, Piotr Wawrzyniak, right, that Wawrzyniak, okay, Piotr, I'm just going to call him Piotr, all right? Well, this guy is the underdog. He's at 2.15. Like I said, I'm going to use this system, 2.15. So multiply whatever you're betting by 2.15 on this guy. So he's obviously the underdog, right? You're doubling your bet. So I think it's good, right? Now, anyway, enough of that random rambling. I'm sure it doesn't make any sense to you, but for those of you that are in Europe or not in America, I'm American myself, but I think it's just as far as betting, it's easier to see, okay? So, because I just don't like to use that 100, plus 100, minus 100. I'm like, dude, I mean, if you're like me or the average person betting, you want to add spice to watching the fights. You're not dropping a freaking bill on each fight. Some random guy like, he looks good, like he should win on paper or whatever. Like gonna risk a bill each time. I mean, that's cool, but if you want money to burn. But for me, I'm just I like making money. I like saving money. Okay, this betting is you know you never want to lose. Hell no. I mean, I don't take it lightly. Don't get me wrong. I'm not just throwing chump change out there to be like, whatever. I mean, sometimes we make some, we'll take a gamble because it's gambling, for God's sakes. You'll be confident, but you see there's ways to lose. It's still a good bet, and I don't mind betting on that. But I'm like, let me put it this way: I'm not throwing thousands and thousands on these bets like randomly. It just seems kind of. But anyway, let's go back on this, okay? For those of you, sticking with me, thank you. Let me get into this. I got some good observations here. Look at this guy. So this guy, now what the takeaways I got from him, I watched, like I said, I've watched his previous fights. I've watched some stuff from, and unfortunately there are some older fights you have to go through because, the content available for them is not so plentiful. But I've watched quite a bit of tape. I've watched several of his fights. His aggression, his takedown defense, and his ground and pound is what really stood out to me. And like I said, I'm not saying these guys are going to be world beaters. I'm not saying his takedown defense is up there with what the caliber that you might see in the UFC or his ground and pound either. But it stood out to me. Okay, look, you have to look at the competition they're having. There's all the fighters are in Poland. They're all pretty much fighting around those gyms in Poland, right? You're not going to have the same high caliber. His aggression is good though. I like his output. Now, see, matched up against this Marcin guy, it seems like a very favorable matchup. This Marcin guy, like I said, Marcin has a very low output, and you're going against a guy with high aggression, right? He's going to keep going, and his takedown defense, like what I've seen, he'll try to, he'll try to basically kind of have basically all the basic check marks are checked, right? The basic boxes are checked, as we could say. His legs are kept wide. He knows right away, oh, you're trying to take me down. Let me get in the basic position. Let me try to get the underhooks. Let me have my hands low. Let me have my legs spread apart. Let me just kind of use all my power to kind of prevent this. And his ground pound is good. He did show, I like that. Like I said, the aggression translates. Not only is he aggressive on the feet, he's aggressive when he takes you down. He's going to try to land something. He's going to always try to make it dirty, he's going to grind on you. The strike is not so polished from what I've seen, obviously, but it's good output with feints. Now, one thing I saw also, like, he will get hit, obviously. Like, he doesn't have the greatest defense. Okay, so neither one of these guys has the greatest defense, but he will kind of he'll get hit. But he always wants to throw it back. If you land on him, he wants to land back, and that's one thing I think is good. So he's gonna fight for your money, if you want to put it that way. Another good thing is that when you start hitting him, of course, he's gonna start to get your timing. He has this jab where it's not the most polished, like a perfect boxer jab, but he kind of lunges. He puts his whole body forward to get it, but it does land. He'll explode out there and hit you. And one thing, he'll kind of get a little. He'll toy with his hands. He'll kind of taunt you. He'll have his hand kind of moving around, acting like he's going to hit you with his hand, and of course, hit with the other hand. He'll do a bit of that. So he's trying to get your timing. The more he gets hit, the more he's going to read you, right? The more you attack him, the more he's going to read you, and the better his timing he's going to get. But like I said, it's not like it's world beater level. And so for this, look, and this guy, I'm sorry, I didn't even give his stats. He's 29 years old, so he's young, this guy. He's 5'10", so 178 centimeters about. He's 185 pounds, right? So he's at middleweight too, right? 84 kilograms, right? He's got 7 wins, 5 losses. Okay, look, this is my pick. I would put money on this guy. He's the underdog, and I feel like that's a good bet. The only thing I could say is like the experience and durability from this guy Marcin could make him the favorite. I'm just not seeing it. I'm not seeing how you could really give him a favorite. Now, for those of you that don't like risk, obviously I don't even think you should be betting on these fights. It's Polish organization, but if you ask me, if you're a gambling man, and these dire times where there's not much content out there to we're going this coronavirus lockdown, and you're like me, you're kind of going stir crazy. You want to bet on this? I would say it's a good bet. 2.5, man, that's awesome. It's an underdog, so you're getting the underdog value. And look, and I see it. I just don't see how Marcin's going to give him trouble. Like, I think Marcin could weather the storm, but look, and he goes into berserker mode. Maybe Piotr is going to keep landing on him. He's going to have that good output. And I don't think Marcin's going to be able to take him down really. Like, Marcin wants to, he wants to kind of get you to the ground eventually. Kind of wants to tie up, but like he has bad defense. He's going to keep getting hit. Piotr doesn't mind getting hit. Marcin does. Piotr's younger. He has less wear and tear on him, from what it seems, right? And he's solid. And it's not like there's a huge height difference. I mean, 5'10", 6 foot. and they're both at used to fighting at middleweight. Is good. I think he's going to be Pierre's going to be a more aggressive guy. He has a takedown defense is decent, so he can actually get him down. And if they do get down, he's going to land the ground more ground and pound. Okay, and he's going to have that higher output. I see him winning probably a decision. I'll be honest with you. I don't see like a huge knockout, but I do see a decision, and I think goes in Pierre's favor. All right. So moving on, the next pick is going to be, or rather, the next fight is going to be this guy Rafael Kijanchuk. Versus Marcin, another Marcin here, Wojcik, okay? And so now look at the odds of these guys. Okay, so Rafael is a slight favorite here, is 1.71. So basically, let's put it this way. Like if you're going to bet $10 on this guy, you're going to get $17 back. So meaning you're making a $700 profit. I mean, $7 profit. So I'm thinking yen over here, right? 900 yen, 700 yen. No. So 1.71. Okay, so basically you're risking $10, but if you win it, you're gonna get like $7 back. Okay, $7 profit, right? $17 back. Okay, and so and the underdog here, Marcin Wojcik, is 2.0. Okay, odds. So you bet $10, you're gonna get $20 back, and you get $10 profit. So yeah. Let's look at the fight here. Okay, so these are great odds either way. If you were to bet on either, just by looking at these odds, that's good. You have to see who you're confident about. Now this guy, Rafael guy. Okay, so he's 27 years old. He's a young guy. They're all coming from Poland. All these guys are from Poland. He's 6'2", big guy, right? 187.96 centimeters. So he's like about 188 centimeters. 6'2", 205 pounds. So that's what he fights at. Okay, it's like a light heavyweight. All right, so 93 kilograms, right? He's got 8 wins and 2 losses to his name. And his opponent over here, Marcin Wojcik, is 30 years old, so a little bit older, like still young, 6 feet. Okay. So this guy Rafael has got a 2-inch reach, 2-inch height advantage, and he fights at 185 pounds. So look at that. That's really stands out to me. This guy's obviously fighting. He's typically fighting at he's a middleweight, right? So he's moving up, right? 84 kilograms, right? He's a middleweight going up to fight a light heavyweight. That's to stand out to you. And he's 6 foot. I mean, that's good. 6 foot, 185 pounds. That's respectable. That's good for middleweight, right? But he's going up against, a 6'2" guy, 205 pounds. So you think, okay, so I can see why this Rafael guy is a favorite. But let's break him down. Now I've watched these guys go online, watch their past fights. This guy, okay, Rafael, as you can tell, what stands out for me is his power, size, and his pressure. Okay, so his power, he's got power. Like it's not very polished striking. Again, like a lot of these guys are not going to have the most positive striking. They're kind of, winging their shots. But he's got power, okay? Obviously, he's a 6'2", 205-pound guy. And you can see him, but you look at him, his body, his build. I mean, it makes sense. Like, if you look at these guys put together, this guy, Marcin, he's good. He's like a vet. He looks like a solid guy. He looks like he's 30 years old, 6 foot. He's 6 feet, 185 pounds. Looks in great shape. He's fine, but he doesn't have that kind of world be like, I'm gonna one shot knock you out power. He looks more like a respectable middleweight, 105 pounds, 6 foot. Looks like a guy that works out. It looks like an MMA fighter, right? But this guy, Rafael, is just, as far as size and power, is just different. Big guy. He has good takedown defense against the fence. Okay, so when you see him, I see him getting kind of, the guys obviously they feel his power. They think, oh shit, I don't want to deal with this. They try to take him down, but he's against the fence. So when he's against the fence, he has that good takedown defense. He'll like I said, he has his widen his hips, right? He has his feet underneath him. It's good. But the thing is, if you're not against, so he's using the fence to help him, right? He's leaning against, which is good strategy, right? Make the guy work for it. Make the guy work for that takedown. He's not going to get you down. But then when he's in the center, okay, when he's in the center of that gun, I think he kind of gives up. He kind of allows you. He's like, oh, I don't have the fence to help me out. I don't really want to fight your takedown. It's going to tire me out. Whatever. I'll just let you take me down. He kind of almost allows it. This is what at least I've seen. He kind of allows it because he's so big and he's so explosive. He's a big, powerful guy that he kind of explodes out. He explodes out of the takedown, right? So you take him down, but he'll explode out of it. Not the best technique, but I think it's just really power. Almost kind of like the Derek Lewis, Black Beast. How he does it. He just kind of, lets you do, all right, I'm going to kind of save my energy and let you kind of try to ground pound me, try to move out of the way. And then, boom, I explode out. He just gets up. He explodes out. And then when he explodes out, because so big, he'll get on you. He has a heavy top game. And he'll land that ground pound. He's like, oh, now I'm top of you. And you'll see it. He kind of goes for broke. He'll land on the shot. So it's intimidating, So he's got that going for him. Like I said, not so polished, but he's got the power and size to kind of make up for it. He kind of goes with that. He kind of uses power, his raw, strength and ability kind of like explode off and try to land shots on you. But not the best technique. Not the worst, but I mean, someone that relies on the power more. Okay, so his opponent here, Marcin Warczyk. This guy, what stood up to me is his leg kicks and his takedowns. I think like this guy's kind of a grinder. Okay, so he's kind of athletic. It's good. Nothing stands out to me as far as like excellent. Like when you see this Rafael guy, it's power and size. Like okay, it really stands out to you, right? Oh, okay, he's got power. Oh, he's a big guy. This guy, like I said, he's good. It's 6 foot, 105 pounds. He has a good leg kick. So I've seen him like he'll kind of hit the leg. Kind of he won't go out there just trying to swing and bang, as they say, right? And he kind of wants to just kind of take out your leg, kind of grind at you, chip away at you, get the leg kicks, get the takedown. That's his game. He's a fit guy, athletic, and he can throw with some power. Don't get me wrong. Like when I saw him, he kind of wings. He kind of twists his body into those body shots, but it's nothing that's gonna like stun you or really hurt you. It kind of adds up. He adds up. He'll throw with intention, but it's not like it has a lot of output. He doesn't have much output. Okay. And he looks for the I thought he went for the single leg quite a bit, so he goes for a single leg a lot. But I think he has a good wrestling background. You'll see him; he'll actually pick up the guy and just like slamming takedown. Like really, he's kind of grind on you, almost that DC kind of style. Obviously not the same caliber, but I think he likes to try to take you down. Now, his top game though, here's the issue. His top game is not so heavy. Just like I remember actually bringing up DC again. DC said, people, because he's a wrestler first and foremost, right? And people asked him, I remember, he's been asked on this before, like, okay, when you see someone have so many takedowns, what does that say to you? Is that good? Do you like seeing that as a wrestler? Well, and now it scores points, it looks good, but here's the thing. When you take someone down, if you can keep them down, that kind of top pressure, that kind of the control time, right? How long were you able to control them? Now it might be boring, but you're keeping them down. You're getting them down. That's more important. Here's the thing. When he lands a lot of takedowns, and he will slam them, but it kind of worries me. I think he has a good death tank. Like he's good for the weight class, but he's trying to move up. I think, he's going. Well, look, he's going up a guy that's naturally bigger than him. Okay, so he's not gonna. I don't see him being able to naturally just land those big slamming takedowns. I think he's gonna try to go for a single leg, and he might have some trouble, especially if it's against a cage. And even if he gets him down against a bigger guy, I don't see him really keeping him down. Okay. And again, it's going to be taxing. The more he's going to try to take him down, the more energy he's going to use. Even if he has decent cardio, which I think he does, but on a bigger guy like that, I don't see him manhandling. And I've seen him have issues like getting hit to the body. I've seen him get hurt. So obviously, look, Rafael Kijang, this bigger guy, he's a favorite for a reason, and I think that's really good odds. Okay, 1.71. I think that's really good odds. You should. That's my bet. Okay, if you're going to ask me who I'm going to bet on, I would bet on him because those are good odds, man. If anything, I think he should be even more of a favorite. I think it's just because it's Marcin Warczyk. He's kind of a vet, Not really. It just seems like I think I don't know why he's a favorite. He's he's got the look about him. He seems like he looks like an MMA fighter. 7 wins, 5 losses, for God's sakes. He has a lot of experience, but not really. He has experience, but I just don't think he's a grinder, and I think against someone you need for Marcin to win, it needs to be against a guy that doesn't have that huge power, who's not going to just land on him. Someone that's going to not deal with pressure well. Someone's going to allow him, going to be intimidated by the fact that he has, he's going for kicking out your legs and going for a takedown, going to a single leg, slamming you down. Like someone's going to get intimidated by that, right? But I don't think Rafael is going to win. I'm sorry, going to be intimidated by that. So that's my pick. Okay, so. Go for it, guys. Good luck if you want to bet on this. And, stay tuned.